So it looked like Caitlin Clark has shut down Nike headquarters in viral new footage.
The entire Nike headquarters was transformed into Caitlin Clark's personal showcase as soon as she entered. Personalized branded cookies and high-end outerwear that have not yet been made available. Additionally, LeBron James most likely did not receive the hero's welcome. The top star in the WNBA reminded everyone of who now controls women's basketball. When Nike unveiled the red carpet, Clark took full advantage of it. Do you believe Nike is now treating Caitlin Clark with the dignity she merits, or should they have done so months ago? Tell me in the comments. Since the Team USA tryouts, Caitlin Clark has remained comparatively silent. She wasn't in the news every other day. She wasn't making viral videos on a regular basis. Some even began to question whether her off-season would be dull. Those folks were mistaken. Very incorrect. The video that emerged from Clark's visit to Nike's Oregon headquarters is utterly absurd. We are discussing a degree of attention that the majority of athletes never receive during their whole careers. Nike did more than just send her home with some free shoes and ask her to participate in a brief picture session. They converted the entire structure into a museum dedicated to Caitlin Clark. First, let's talk about the jacket. Clark was sporting that personalized Nike CC jacket. It's not even close to being described as premium. Her logo fits flawlessly on the chest thanks to the design and fit. The minimum cost of this item is possibly $3 or $400. Here's the worst part. The public isn't even able to access it yet. Clark received special access to stuff from Nike that isn't available in stores. Athletes who move the needle, sell merchandise, and bring in billions for Nike are the ones who deserve that kind of treatment. Employees lined up as if she were royalty when she entered the facility. They gave her a personalized little basketball emblazoned with her emblem. Embossed rather than printed. "We're investing substantial money into you," is screamed by the attention to detail. It is likely that they will begin selling those tiny basketballs, and they will sell out in about 14 seconds. For a moment, let's discuss that logo. One of the greatest athlete logos in sports at the moment is Caitlin Clark's CC logo. According to some, it resembles Gucci or Chanel. To be honest, that's precisely why it works. It is simple, elegant, gender-neutral, and readily identifiable. It doesn't shout basketball player. It exudes a high-end brand. Nobody would question that logo if it appeared on expensive watches or purses. Consider the logos of other basketball players. The majority of them are convoluted, preoccupied, and overly ambitious. Two interwoven oceans that seem like they belong on a fashion runway make up Clark's logo. Nike is obviously aware of this brilliant branding. This event's publicity materials were ridiculous. Coffee mugs with her logo, cookies adorned with CC designs, and personalized tote bags with From Anywhere branding, a nod to Clark's absurd deep-range shooting prowess. Every employee was enjoying the transformation of Nike's offices into a Caitlin Clark theme park. In one video, Clark was seen shooting at a little basketball hoop against the backdrop of her logo. She automatically drained it because that's what she does. The staff went crazy as if they had just seen her score the game-winning goal in the championship game. Everywhere Caitlin Clark goes, she generates that kind of enthusiasm. Let's be honest for a moment now. Nike's handling of Caitlin Clark's brand has drawn some criticism. Early on, many thought that they weren't doing enough. Where was Nike when Clark was shattering all women's college basketball records and drawing previously unheard of attention to the sport? Why wasn't Nike taking advantage of her success right away when she was selling out venues and breaking TV ratings? However, this incident completely alters the story. It's obvious that Nike is now fully committed to Caitlin Clark, and they're not hiding it. The amount of effort they put into this visit to the headquarters is comparable to what they have done for their biggest male sportsmen. Here, we're talking about LeBron James and Michael Jordan territory. It's not overstated. Watch the video. On social media, someone made an intriguing observation. CC material is all over Nike WHQ. This is unlike anything we've seen since Michael Jordan. That's a strong claim, but it's difficult to disagree with the pictures and videos that have emerged from this incident. Nike turned its corporate headquarters, where thousands of workers actually work every day, into a showcase for Caitlin Clark. That's not how athletes often look. It's a coronation. The branding for the From Anywhere challenge is quite clever. It perfectly encapsulates Caitlin Clark's unique ability to pull up from 30 feet and drain shots that make opponents reevaluate their life decisions. It is marketable, memorable, and effective worldwide. Although fans in China, Europe, or South America may not be familiar with every detail of her collegiate history, they can nevertheless comprehend it from any location. They can see the exact meaning of the term by watching her highlights. Caitlin Clark's every step throughout the break has been monitored by a Twitter account called CC Offseason, and they deserve a lot of praise for keeping fans informed. Who runs it is unknown. Perhaps a member of Clark's crew. They may be ardent admirers, but they do a fantastic job of recording everything she does. Every photo, every public appearance, and every item of product is cataloged. The majority of the Nike headquarters footage was leaked by that account before the event was even reported by the mainstream media. In a similar vein, Caitlin Clark's whole wardrobe is tracked on an account named Caitlin Clark Style. And during this visit to Nike, that account went viral as Clark was clearly sporting unique Nike apparel that no one else had access to. Fans were analyzing each item of apparel in an effort to determine when they could get it for themselves. Although the audio isn't clear in the majority of the clips, you can see the reactions on people's faces as Clark gives a brief speech to Nike employees. They're listening to everything she says. Even though she is only 22 years old, she is able to dominate a room full of designers and corporate executives as if she has been doing this for decades. One noteworthy aspect is that Clark appears considerably thinner than she did during the WNBA season. Her weight decrease was mentioned by a few. It's important to note that she obviously prioritizes off-season conditioning, even though we're not here to examine her physique. She's not resting and taking a break. She's getting ready for the next step, maintaining top form and ensuring that she is prepared to rule when the season resumes. Let's deal with the big issue. For Caitlin Clark, why is Nike doing all of this? The answer is now straightforward and brutally truthful. Money. Clark sells more goods than practically any other NBA player at the moment. Wilson's sales skyrocketed when she wore Wilson basketballs in college. Fans started inquiring about the release date of her trademark shoe as soon as she signed with Nike. Any article of Nike clothing she wears sells out in a matter of hours. Nike is a company, and companies pursue profits. The numbers have been run. They have witnessed the ratings Clark brings in on television. They have observed the interaction on social media. They have seen the numbers for arena attendance. The information indicates that making significant investments in Caitlin Clark is not just wise. If they wish to control the women's basketball market, they must. Competition is another element at work here. In women's basketball, Adidas has been taking action. Arour is attempting to restore the area's relevance. Prominent female athletes have been signed by Puma. Nike cannot afford to waste Caitlin Clark's enormous cultural influence or, worse, allow her relationship with the company to deteriorate to the point that she looks at other possibilities when her contract is up for renewal. Nike is conveying several messages at once by hosting this enormous celebration at their headquarters. We all want you to succeed, Caitlin Clark, and you are our first priority. Back off from other brands. We own her. Customers perceive the goods we're producing with Caitlin Clark as high-end and unique. This is how other athletes perceive a top-tier collaboration with Nike. This event's timing is also calculated. Clark recently underwent the USA team selection process. She's in the national dialogue. Casual fans begin to lose interest in WNBA players during the off-season until the next season begins. With Clark, Nike is ensuring that doesn't occur. They are sustaining the momentum she gained during her record-breaking debut season, keeping her in the news and keeping her relevant. Examine the event's social media stats. For hours, the hashtags associated with Caitlin Clark's visit to Nike dominated Twitter. Engagement on Instagram was skyrocketing. Millions of people watched TikTok videos related to the event. That involvement was not funded by Nike. It was naturally generated by Caitlin Clark's organic fame. Corporate executives get so excited about that kind of return on investment that they go crazy. "We pray for times like this," a social media commenter wrote, alluding to the fact that women's basketball is now receiving this degree of corporate support and investment. It's critical to comprehend that sentiment. Women athletes have been demanding the same treatment, marketing funds, and production value that male athletes automatically receive for decades. At last, Caitlin Clark is understanding. Additionally, it's boosting the standard for all women's basketball players. Let's be honest, though. Nike isn't acting solely out of kindness. This is taking place because Caitlin Clark has demonstrated her ability to produce outcomes. She has shown her ability to move merchandise, get ratings, sell tickets, and create cultural events. She completed the task. Her impact and performance earned her this treatment. These aren't just entertaining promotional items. The cookies with her emblem, the personalized coffee cups, the tote bags, and the unique products. They serve as proof of concept. Nike is testing consumer reactions to Caitlin Clark goods. They are collecting information about what things consumers want, what designs work, and what price points are reasonable. This gathering served as a focus group, a celebration, and a strategic planning session for Clark's upcoming product lines. Since Nike has been observing the response to everything Clark-related they have published thus far, they will already know exactly what fans desire when that trademark shoe eventually appears, which it will. They'll be aware of the best-selling hues, the most popular styles, and the price range that optimizes accessibility and profit. Additionally, the From Anywhere branding creates intriguing opportunities for product lines that go beyond clothing and shoes. Basketballs, shooting sleeves, compression gear, and training equipment can all have the slogan and Clark's emblem. Nike can create a whole ecosystem of Caitlin Clark merchandise that appeals to casual customers who simply think the branding is great, fans who want to support her, and aspiring athletes who want to shoot like her. We also cannot overlook the implications of this for women's basketball in general. Nike shows the entire business that women's basketball is worth serious money and serious attention when it makes such a large investment on a single player. Other companies will react. There will be notice from other leagues. Other athletes will see what's feasible and advocate for comparable care. One Nike event at a time, Caitlin Clark is actually transforming the economics of women's basketball. She is demonstrating that businesses can earn handsomely from women's sports if they are prepared to make the right investments. She is demonstrating that if a product is properly advertised, fans will attend, purchase items, and interact with content. Clark is even more marketable because she has remained comparatively modest during all of this. She's not acting entitled or demanding attention. She shows up, completes her work, expresses gratitude to those who have supported her, and continues to work. A marketer's dream is to have both exceptional talent and genuine humility. That's it. Everyone was reminded by Caitlin Clark that she is both the present and the future of women's basketball. Nike's headquarters celebration demonstrated that they are at last making the kind of investment she deserves. Click the like and subscribe buttons if you're excited about Clark's supremacy and would like more information that breaks down her impact. Which Nike item would you like to see from her?